I'm the Criminal District Attorney of Waller County, Texas, and the Sheriff of Waller County, Glenn Smith, who's here. The Honorable Trey Duhon, who's the Judge of Waller County, is here to my left. And we called this press conference earlier this afternoon because we felt it was necessary to give the public and the media as much information as we can at this time regarding the recent passing of Miss Sandra Bland in the Waller County Jail. Briefly, in reviewing the reports from the media appears to have the timeline pretty much down. Ms. Bland was arrested in Prairie View, Texas last Friday by a DPS trooper and charged with assault on a peace officer. She was taken into custody, and early morning of Monday, the 13th of July this week, at approximately 9:07 a.m., she was found hanging in her jail cell at the Waller County Jail. She was in the cell alone, and at this point, we can confirm that she had what appears that she had used a trash bag to hang herself from a partition in the ceiling, which was used to give inmates privacy from the bathroom area, from the sleeping area. Attempts were made to resuscitate her, which were unsuccessful. An inquest was ordered, autopsy conducted. Preliminary autopsy results are that she died from asphyxiation. Toxicology results are still pending. This afternoon, the Waller County Sheriff and I met with the Texas Rangers, who were immediately called in by Sheriff Smith to conduct the investigation to determine what exactly happened to Ms. Bland at the jail. We also met with Waller County Judge Trey Duhon, representatives of the Waller County Sheriff's Office, and also at the Sheriff's request, we've asked the Federal Bureau of Investigations to come in and also review the work that's being done here locally, and so that they can have any involvement that they deem is necessary. We've met this afternoon, spoke, shared information, and at this point, the investigation is still being conducted by the Texas Rangers. We were able to view videos from the jail, videos from the traffic stop, which occurred on last Friday, and Ms. Bland's mother, who at this point is still, I believe, located in the Chicago area, is being actively kept abreast of the investigation, and we are in contact with her through the Texas Rangers. So the family is being kept abreast of the information that we can share with them. We're listening to their concerns, and hopefully they will be here Monday to be able to meet with the Texas Rangers, which they have requested, so that they can get straight from the investigating agencies any information regarding Ms. Bland's death in the Waller County Jail. I can confirm that Ms. Bland made multiple calls to her family. The family, and reviewing the family's press conference earlier that they conducted in Chicago today, we can confirm that she was able to make contact with her oldest sister and that they were in the process of arranging for her bond from the Waller County Jail. Her bond had been set at $5,000 for assault on a peace officer, which is the standard bond for a third-degree felony of that nature, and they were trying to come up with the approximately $500 needed to bond her out. We look forward to speaking with the family once they get here so that we can glean further information from them regarding Ms. Bland's mental state or any stress that she may have been under at the time, so that we can have a complete picture of what happened and what was going on in her life between Thursday and Monday morning when she was found in the Waller County Jail. So at this point, I'm going to ask the sheriff or the county judge, whichever prefers, to come forward and add anything that they may feel that I've left out, and then I will come back and together the three of us will field any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. As stated, I'm Sheriff Ora Glenn Smith, County Sheriff here in Waller County. It was a very tragic incident that was obviously discovered Monday morning by our jail staff. We have immediately, once we were hoping life would be sustained, and it wasn't, then immediately outside investigation was started. The staff at the Waller County Sheriff's Office obviously is cooperating 100%. All of us are providing any information, documentation that's needed. I might also add that during this investigation, interviews of the complete jail staff, anybody within that roughly 72 hours that Ms. Bland was in the jail, has been done and is being completed by the Texas Rangers, along with inmates that were in the vicinity of where Ms. Bland was incarcerated in her cell. So it's a complete, entire investigation being done. We certainly, as asked today, welcome the Federal Bureau of Investigation to monitor this, and we certainly, outside of just a tremendous condolences to the family, death of any sort is an upsetting thing to everybody. The staff at the Sheriff's Office and all are the same way, with condolences to the family. I stand ready also with the questions that I can't answer. I'll be honored to answer them and glad to. Judge?
Judge, can you state your name one more time?
Sure. Good afternoon. My name is Trey Duhon. It's Trey, last name Duhon, Duhon. Currently serving as county judge for Waller County. I just want to state, first and foremost, on behalf of the Waller County Commissioners Court, we do want to express our extreme condolences to the family of Miss Bland. It is very sad and it's a tragic event, and I have every confidence, based on the meeting that I had this afternoon with Waller County District Attorney Elton Mathis and Sheriff Smith, members of the Texas Rangers and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, that the investigation into this will be thorough, it will be transparent, and it will be done in a manner that answers all the questions, because I know when somebody passes away in this manner, it raises more questions than it probably solves. And I understand that, and my heart goes out to her family, and I will see to it and make sure, and I know District Attorney Elton Mathis and Sheriff Smith, that we're all committed to getting the answers that I know her family wants. So with that, they probably have more information to answer questions, but it will open it up to questions at this time.
Elton, I had a quick question. With the video recently surfacing, with Ms. Bland talking about her PTSD and depression, how will that weigh into your investigation into her death?
I've just been apprised of that video within the last 2 hours. There's a video that purports to be, and I don't want to give that video credence until it's confirmed that that's really her, but there's a video that purports to be Ms. Bland back in March of 2015 self-diagnosing on YouTube with depression and post-traumatic stress disorder, where she speaks to that. And one of the issues with this case that has been in my mind is with the information that's been put out in the public, mainly on social media, as to her life and the new job that she was starting. I know a lot of people, especially the family, are wondering, why would she do this if she allegedly, or if she did this to herself? So that is, of course, extremely relevant, that she may have been suffering from some sort of mental illness. And that self-diagnosis is certainly something that we are going to look at and consider with a motive for a suicide.
And when you looked at the video of the cell, what did you see exactly?
The video of the cell, basically what we are looking for, because there is no video inside the cell where she was, we have to look at, did anyone go in the cell and cause damage to Ms. Bland? We have reviewed the video, and at no point in the video does it appear that anyone goes into that cell and harms her in any way. So that helps. Of course, the investigation is still ongoing. It hasn't made its way to my office yet, but that is something that, of course, we're going to take into consideration when determining, was this something she did to herself, or was this someone else that perpetrated this activity on her? Short story is, it doesn't appear that anyone goes in her cell.
You said self-diagnosed.
One thing you should clarify, Elton. He said how it would affect our investigation. Right now, the investigation is in the hands of the Texas Rangers.
That's true. That's true. The judge clarifies.
We are not.
At this point, the Texas Rangers are conducting the investigation.
Will they take into consideration?
I would assume they would. However, what really matters is what a grand jury of Waller County thinks is important, because no matter how this investigation turns out, I will be taking this matter to the grand jury of Waller County so that the public can have the final say on this issue.
Can you tell us how that trash bag got into her cell, and why is there even a trash bag in an inmate's cell?
I would like the sheriff to answer that.
Sure. As and of course, Texas Rangers to verify it, we maintain plastic garbage cans in the cells along with the plastic liners. To the inmates are given the opportunity daily to clean their own cells, put trash in there, keep the garbage clean, and so trash bags are a day-to-day activity, day-to-day item in the cells for them to keep their trash in.
Do you now think that it's still a good idea to keep plastic bags in a jail cell?
Well, it can be, and as I stated the day the first time, while this investigation is going on, we ourselves are going to look at every little detail. Could we have done something better? Could we prevent this? Is there a better way to do something? And we're going to do that. We can, for lack of better words, what if this, for instance, unfortunately these incidents happen in jails. They hang themselves with everything from their clothing to their underwear, to bed sheets, to, things like that. So, as I'm stating, is there a good idea or the consideration of removing the garbage bag? Absolutely, and we're going to consider it. Is that the only item in the jail cell that an inmate might decide to use? No, it's not.
Are you removing, do plastic bags, are they in jail cells today?
That's correct.
They are.
We have, and let me explain something. It is very critical to us at Sheriff's Office, okay? Or maybe be more specific. It is very, very critical to Glenn Smith. The integrity of this investigation for the Rangers, for the FBI, for the District Attorney's Office, for anybody conducting this, I want that facility 100% where they can look at it, see and do day-to-day these last 3 days of what's going on. We have not jumped out there and fixing to go to changing a bunch of stuff, the first day or two, or with the appearance of we're trying to hide something or change something with that appearance.
Well, Sheriff, excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
You've seen the stories in the Daily Coast.
Yes, sir.
Slate today,
Right.
alleging you were fired from NCPD.
That's correct.
Racism.
That's correct.
Can you talk
Sure,
about
I'd be
that?
glad to. I've got 36 years of law enforcement, and I'm not going to stand up here and tell you that everybody that I've ever had a conversation with has been a friendly conversation, okay? And I'm not going to tell you that everybody I've dealt with likes me, all right? There was a lot of accusations back in the 07, 08 era when I had already announced to run for sheriff. And to begin with, this is political things that has nothing to do with Miss Bland and her death. But you can check the records on that and see. I will tell you that if you'll completely check, you'll find out that 2 of the city councilmen that decided to terminate me later that year went to the federal pen for bribery. So we'll sort of leave part of that to that, and let's concentrate on what happened to Miss Bland, how it happened. Am I a racist? No, I am not. Okay? I can assure you that Black Lives Matter to Glenn Smith. Okay? We can get that out of the way. But let's spend our time worrying about Sandra Bland, not Glenn Smith from 2007. And I'll be glad to hang around, talk about that, talk about the details of those things, talk about my opinion about some of that at that time. But let's stay with that.
Well, you mentioned your record, Sheriff. Let's talk about your record. In 2012, you had another incident in the jail. What has changed procedurally since 2012 to 2015 out of your face? That's
correct. We still monitor our inmates. We still make our hourly rounds. We still work through that. No different than that incident that happened then. That I, if I recall correctly, used a bed sheet in the day room at that incident. I can assure you that none of us in these incidents that occur in jails, it is a very personal and touching thing with the responsibility we have to keep those individuals safe. And that's what we try to do 24/7.
Sheriff, there's a lot of people, a lot of friends that Ms. Bland that are still questioning the official events that you guys are presenting, and they want to see the video inside the jail.
Sure.
So when is that going to be released?
Well, ultimately, as I stated a while ago, it's not my decision. The decision will be on who's heading up the investigation with the Rangers and District Attorney's Office. I can tell you that, the very close family has requested that they be the first ones to view it and would like to view it private and not see it on social media. I think that's a very nice and wise decision on their part. I would tell you that if anything or any opinion I have about that, I think her close family deserves that, and I respect it. But I'm not going to stand and tell you that it's my decision when it's not.
Can you tell us when the last time someone did go into her cell?
That's correct. Approximately 7 o'clock that morning, one of the jailers visited with her through what's commonly known as the bean hole. The cover drops down from the doorway where you serve your food and stuff. Visited with her, and I cannot tell you exact whether he was giving her breakfast or picking up the food tray. Had a conversation with her about that time. Roughly about an hour later, sometime around 8 o'clock, supervisor in the control room spoke with Miss Bland on the intercom. She was wanting to use the phone again. We had let her make some free phone calls through the weekend. She was having trouble getting a hold of some people. And then again, I know she did get a hold of some, like Mr. Mosley, I believe, she spoke to, and all through the weekend. And then, roughly 9 o'clock, I think, more specific, probably 8:56, and it's on the video. The female jailer that hadn't been on duty at the time, running the kitchen area, went back there to offer to see if she wanted to go outside for recreation. And that's when the jailer found her. Of course, immediately hit the intercom, called, released the door, CPR was started, EMS was notified, and then, of course, the rest of the events folded from there.
But you didn't answer the question. When was the last time that somebody actually went into her cell? And was there
inside the cell? Probably would have been the night before. I don't recall that on the video as far as inside the cell with her. Very rare with one person in the cell that would be seldom. They could have gone in there to take out the garbage or give her a mop bucket through the weekend if she wanted to mop the floor, something like that. But I can't tell you that as far as inside the cell.
But at that 7 a.m. mark and the 8 a.m. mark, she
They
was
spoke
alive.
to. That is correct.
She was alive.
That is correct.
Can you clarify during her arrest the part where she allegedly assaulted one of the troopers that was arresting her? When that happened and
Well,
what exactly she did?
I mean, of course, clarification, obviously, we wasn't there, but it was around 4:30 Friday afternoon. This district attorney stated that a DPS trooper, he had been down in the city of Prairie View, I believe on FM 1098, but I'm not positive about that, but made a traffic stop for failed to signal the lane and maybe running a stop sign, I believe. But anyway, basically traffic offenses, and that's where the stop occurred. I know that he made his routine stop, had a conversation with her, and at some point during it, an altercation, and then I know because they were on our radio channel, he called for assistance. And then at some point during that, the city of Prairie View officer responded and was there at the scene. And actually, Miss Bland was transported to the county jail by the city of Prairie View officer.
But does the dash cam video show her actually hitting the officer or kicking or?
I do not know.
So you haven't reviewed that video?
I have. I haven't seen it. Right.
Does it not show?
Well,
any
that's
sort of physical
you'll have to ask the rangers and those that are doing that investigation. We are not here investigating the traffic stop no more than we are, the occurrence in the jail. So that part of what's on the actual video, if they want to release it, will of course be up to them and Mr. Matthews.
But you have seen it, and do you feel like she should have been in jail based on what you've seen?
Yes,
You do. Okay.
I do.
How many other inmates were inside the jail when it was found?
I can't exactly. We range from anywhere from 78 to about 86 right now, daily population. At 9 o'clock Sunday morning, obviously it's on the record over there, but it's going to be around 80 people, or the low 80s.
And you said everybody that's in there has been interviewed. What are they saying? What do they hear? What do they see?
Well, the Rangers have interviewed them at all with it, but
Had she ever expressed that she wanted to take her own life previous to doing so to any of your jailers?
that'll have to be something that'll come out in the investigation with her. When an inmate comes in, okay, any inmate, there's a form, questionnaire, along with just the pure observation of them, and specific questions. Have you ever tried to kill yourself? Do you feel depressed? Are you on any medication?
And at this point, we're not sharing any of those answers.
Right.
Because of HIPAA laws and privacy that need to be dealt with.
So,
I mean, aside from the forms, though, I mean, did she verbally express anything to your jailers? saying
well,
she was thinking
we're going to, as I said, and I know that's difficult from my standpoint, but I've got to honor and respect that they're doing that investigation, and it's not for me to sit here and release or decide on those things.
Do you think she was suicidal?
Well, from what I factually know about this case right now, it's evident to me, Glenn Smith, that, as I stated in my press release, that has not changed, that she died of self-inflicted asphyxiation, and that has not changed the last 3 days with anything that I know.
Was she talking to like a therapist or someone? Had you all arranged for her to speak to somebody if an inmate comes
Well,
in for suicidal? Is it procedure for?
Anybody that requests one, at some point, we have appointments. We have a company, a group called Texana that does those kind of things. I mean, obviously, inmates are given those opportunities if asked.
Can you say if one was on the way for her?
Unfortunately, I pass on that question.
We're good? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
so much.